Good morning all of you. Welcome back to a course Artificial Intelligence. In the previous video we discussed about AI. We understand what do you mean by artificial intelligence, and now in today's video we are going to understand what are the benefits of AI and what is the block structure of artificial intelligence, so that we understand in today's video. So yesterday what we have seen, what is AI? So we have given us a simple definition of AI. Artificial intelligence is one of the branch of computer science which aims to bring or which aims to mimic human intelligence into a machine. So that branch is called as a AI. So AI is very broad term. Under that artificial intelligence domain, a number of subfields are there that we have also discussed in the previous video. Now let's discuss a few benefits of artificial intelligence. So very first benefit is that it can do stressful and complex work that human may struggle to do. It's very true that machine can do stressful and complex work. Just take a simple example. If you are doing coding since from morning to evening, you may get frustrated of doing same task again and again, but this is not the case with the system. Machine can do a same task again and again without any boring or without any frustration, but this is not the case with the human being. If human being is doing a same task again and again, he or she may get frustrated. So this is not the case in case of a machine. So in that sense we are saying that it can do stressful and complex work without any struggle. That is a benefit of AI. Then it can complete task faster than human can in most of the cases. So we found that if you want to do a calculation, big calculation, so we can't do it easily. Means exception person are also there who can do this, but I'm not talking about that one. I'm just talking about the common person. If you ask you a particular person, can you please tell me if I multiply 120 into 500 into 700 into 950, can you give answer in a quick second? Is it possible for normal human being? No, it's not possible. But in case of a machine, you can get answer very quickly. So in that sense I'm saying that AI can complete the task faster than the human being. Then to discover the unexplored thing, artificial intelligence is very much useful, because in case of AI what you are doing, you are just extracting the patterns from a huge amount of data. So it helps us to discover some of the unexplored thing which is there in the data, but normally you can't see by your normal eyes. So that kind of pattern that you can extract from a huge amount of data, so that has that kind of power that artificial intelligence is having. Then less errors and defect. If we compare human being with the machine, then we can say that machine is more accurate and less error prone as compared to the human being, because though human being is going to generate the code and embed it to machine, and according to that machine is going to work, but still if you can say that error and defect, so machine is more superior as compared to the human being. Though again I'm saying that human have created a machine, but machine is not going to create a human being. And finally you can say that function is infinite, and n number of utilities are there for artificial intelligence. Nowadays today we can say that AI is a buzzword in 21st century. Most of the recent application are developing that in the field of artificial intelligence. So these are the various benefits. As there are benefits of artificial intelligence, at the same time it also have few limitation that we discuss one by one. Very first limitation is that it lacks the human touch. So in what sense I'm saying that it lacks the human touch? I will give simple example. Nowadays most of the foreign countries, it is observed that the parents are going for a job, and suppose they're having a small children who is kept at the home, so they hire a maid. Okay, so hiring of maid is not that much easier in case of foreign countries. So what they can do, they can deploy a robot with their small child at the home. So in that case that robot is employed to take care of the particular baby, small baby. So in that case what difference you will find? Suppose that means that robot is asking that baby and offering the food to that baby, and that particular baby is denying for that, means that baby is saying no, I don't want food. So robot says, oh, it's okay, this robot will offer it only for once. But instead of this, suppose there is a human being, that human being can convince that particular baby, no, you just eat the food. Means that is a difference. Lack of touch is there, lack of touch is lack of human touch is missing. Means though machine can do n number of tasks, but the feeling that human being have is not there in case of a machine. So in that sense I'm saying that it lacks the human touch. Then it has the ability to replace the human jobs. That is again truth is there. Nowadays we can see that in most of the industries robots are deployed. Previously the same task is to be done by the human being, but nowadays one machine can do the task of more than one human being. So ultimately we can say that it has the ability to replace the human jobs. Then it can malfunction and do the opposite of what they are programmed to do. It's very good example is the robot movie. You can see there robot can be used for constructive purpose, at the same time it can also be used for destructive purpose. Means it's all about coding, because in robot or any machine what you are doing, they are not doing anything by themselves. We have just code, we have programmed it, and according to that they are behaving. So it can malfunction, and it can use in a destructive manner also. It can be misused leading to mass scale destruction. Just I given an example of robot movie, that on the one side we can use the machine, you can use the robot for constructive purpose, at the same time it may also use for destructive purpose also. And ethically wrong, ethically wrong means what, as we have seen, the one of the limitation that it has the ability to replace human jobs. So that's why we are saying that it's ethically wrong that some person is losing job just because of the machine. So in that sense we are saying that it is ethically wrong. And last limitation is it increase the dependency. That is again important, and it's true that increases the dependency of a human being on the machine to carry out various tasks. Suppose just imagine a situation at your home, there is a robot and you are asking to that robot to perform a number of tasks, and suddenly after 1 week that robot is not there at your home. So it ultimately increases your dependency. Okay, so this is what limitations of artificial intelligence. So I hope you understand what are the benefits and what are the limitations of artificial intelligence. Now next we discuss about the block architecture of AI. Okay, artificial intelligence block architecture. So that architecture is mostly divided into three sub parts. One is a knowledge base, second one is inference engine, and third one is a user interface. So I will explain each and every component one by one. So very first component is a knowledge base. So knowledge base means what? Knowledge base is just similar to database. So what we can say, database generally used to store the information. So in case of knowledge base, what we are doing, we are storing the knowledge. Just take an example of an expert system. In the yesterday's video I have just given the example of an expert system. So in that case I'll talk about the Mycene. Mycene is one of the expert system developed to mimic the knowledge of a doctor. Okay, in the rural areas a doctor is specialized doctor is not available, so in that case that kind of expert system can be used. So in that expert system what they have, they are having the what they have knowledge base. So in the knowledge base what we are storing the knowledge, we are storing the doctor's knowledge into that knowledge base in the form of facts and rules. In the latter videos we are going to discuss about knowledge representation. So in order to represent the knowledge you may use facts. So collection of facts and rules is going to stored in the knowledge base. Means the doctor knowledge, the knowledge related to medicine, the knowledge related to the disease is going to stored in that knowledge base. And to that knowledge base another component is connected, that is inference engine. So what is the role of inference engine? What exactly it will do? What inference engine will do? Inference engine will receive the request through user interface from the user and throw that request to the knowledge base, and from that knowledge base extract it and again provide it to the user. Just take a simple example. Expert system is just like a ATM machine is installed at particular village, and just imagine that a particular person is suffering from fever and he want to get diagnosed and some prescription, expect some prescription from a doctor. So what that person will do, just enter the symptoms, what are the symptoms that he is facing, and just enter the symptoms into that expert system, and then the expert system will recommend some kind of medicine based on the knowledge which is stored in the knowledge base. So user interface is again important. User interface is that component through which a normal user can interact with the particular expert system, or you can say a knowledge base. In order to access the knowledge base, you can use user interface. By using user interface, you can send the query, you can send the request and get your answer. So from user interface, queries transfer to inference engine, inference engine throw that query to the knowledge base, from the knowledge base it is being extracted and provided it to the user. So this is what a overall block architecture of artificial intelligence. So I hope you understand what are the benefits, what are the drawbacks, and block architecture of artificial intelligence. So in the next video we discuss more topics in AI. Thank you.